Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of our weekly video chat about high school football in Southampton Roads. I'm Jami Frankenberry.
And I'm Larry Rubama.
Thanks for joining us again. We're going to get right to the games. You know, we talked last week about the Beach District being a logjam. Sorted out a little bit last week. One of the games that helped was Lansdowne at Bayside, Larry. What did you think of that game last week?
Bayside was real impressive. Lansdowne pretty much, they were going back and forth the whole first half. Second half, Bayside coach John White made some defensive changes, slowed up. They put constant pressure. The running game was gone for Lansdowne. Lansdowne couldn't throw the ball. It really frustrated them. And then the offense looked great. Sophomore backup Tajay Pollard, 160 yards. Didn't know until Monday that he was going to be the starter because Mike Martinez is banged up. Now that gives them a great 1-2 punch for the playoffs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can carry that through. They have 2 losses, so they're still chasing a couple of teams, Cox and Salem. The other game last week that sort of helped sort things out, Ocean Lakes at Tallwood. Yeah. Tallwood knocks off the Dolphins, gives them their second loss. Broke a 5-game winning streak for the Dolphins, too. And Tallwood and Breon Mosley just keep on chugging.
Hey, they love it. I talked to them last week. I did the story on Breon Mosley. The line loves to block for him, and he loves to run behind them. They got that chemistry going right now. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough as the playoffs come in.
Yeah, we talked about the Beach District at the top. Now you got Salem and Cox, both with 1 loss, so they're sort of in the driver's seat, although Salem has beaten Cox. So really, it's on their shoulders. Salem's in the driver's seat. You know, talk about playoff positioning, which is more important than that Beach District title. You have 7 of the 11 Beach District teams right now are among the top 8 in their classification. So, Larry, that Beach District has really been competitive this year.
Yes, it has. We were just talking earlier, too, about Green Run. They had those tough games early on. They're on a roll right now. They beat Princess Anne last week. Who knows what can happen for the Stallions? They might make a nice run when they get to the playoffs.
Yeah, Green Run, they needed that win last week over Princess Anne to keep their playoff hopes alive. So they're 2-5. I think they're 7th or 8th in the Group 5A South region, so we'll see how that plays out. You know, we got Oscar Smith, number 1 in their division. They win their 88th straight game. Larry, the Tigers just keep doing it.
I put my house on it. They're not going to lose. I don't see them losing. The key now is, can they get that offense together? Can the defense continue playing strong? And then they make that big playoff push. Right now we're looking at a state title for them. District, they got that thing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think Oscar Smith, they play Great Bridge this week, so they have a couple more games. It's hard to believe the regular season is winding down, but there's a lot of drama left in these last couple of weeks. So let's move on to this week's notable games, Larry. Another Beach District game that really looks pretty interesting. Lansdowne at Salem. What do you expect out of this one?
Well, Lansdowne's got to get Brent Stooks. He did great the first half, but just made 3 poor decisions and throwing interceptions against Bayside. He's got to play well. But Salem's defense is always going to be tough. Also, last time Lansdowne beat Salem was 2009. But Lansdowne has to get this game. They got to beat a good team as they get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, Lansdowne's lost 2 out of 3 games. So that really, that 5-0 start, looks good through 5 games, but they've lost a couple of the last 3. So we'll see how they do. The Sun Devils have allowed only 15 points in the last 3 games, so that's going to be a real test for Lansdowne. Also, again in the Beach District, Bayside at Ocean Lakes. Larry, Bayside, I think, is one of the hotter teams now. Yeah. You talked about that 1-2 punch now at running back. What do you expect in Bayside, Ocean Lakes?
I think they got the momentum going right now. I really like John White. Said he really liked the way his middle linebackers are playing as well as his line. And if they can control that and continue to play defense like they're doing, the offense is going to come. When you got Tajay Pollard running for 160 yards last week, and then you got Michael Martinez coming back, that's just, like you said, great 1-2 punch. I think that's going to help them.
Yeah, I think one of the best games of the week is this Lakeland-Grassfield game. Yeah. Lakeland at Grassfield on Friday. It's kind of 2 running backs that have really played well. Darius Hagens from Grassfield has back-to-back 200-yard games. Demontre Miltier from Lakeland is leading Southampton Roads in rushing, so it should be a pretty good showdown.
It should. I talked to Kevin Knight earlier today, and he was telling me that he really likes the way they're playing. They're ranked for the first time since 2013, back in the top 10. But he says, hey, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking to be able to get that home field advantage for the playoffs and continue to play well. Last year, they had a good surprise in the first round of the playoffs. He hopes to keep that going. He says they're playing with a lot more confidence. You got a running back like Miltier running. You're looking good. So they want to continue that momentum as they go into the playoffs.
Yeah, Grassfield, a couple of weeks ago, they lost that heartbreaker to Indian River. Yeah. You kind of wondered how they were going to recover, but they have really picked up steam. They won 2 straight since then. Everybody's looking for that game, the regular season finale against Oscar Smith, but they got to get past Lakeland first. Another game involving Suffolk teams, Kings Fork at Nansemond River. Bulldogs can go for the Suffolk sweep under Coach Scotty Littles. What do you think of that one, Larry?
He's got them first-year coach coming in there. He's got them excited, playing well. That means a lot. Like, people don't realize just how much that means to win that Suffolk title. And they win that, who knows what they can do. As again, we talk about the playoffs. Can they continue that? So it's going to be interesting to see that game as well. Yeah,
Kings Fork, Nansemond River, both in playoff position right now. So we'll see how that goes. Kings Fork's in 4A and Nansemond River's in 5A. So that is it for the games this week. So that means it's time to get out the LA Galaxy lunchbox, and we're going to play a little 2-minute blitz. We're going to answer some questions here. Let me set the old car horn, and we'll get going. And Larry gets the first question. What team is overachieving this season?
Overachieving. I don't know overachieving because Oscar Smith right now. I mean, they're overachieving, but they're not. They're kind of. They're both. I would go to Oscar Smith.
Yeah, Oscar Smith. Right. You kind of wondered how they were going to do. I think Tallwood is a team that really has surprised me. I mean, Breon Mosley. We knew he could run the ball, but John Keppel's done a really good job with them at Tallwood. So I'd pick Tallwood.
All right. Next one. Who is the Eastern District MVP?
Now that's a pretty good question. Lake Taylor, probably the best. Well, is the best team so far. They haven't lost since that season opener. But I think if you're talking about MVPs, you got to look at Norview. Kevin Marks, Buffalo commit, has played really well, has over 1,000 yards rushing. The quarterback, Dariel Mack Jr., he has also played really well. He leads Southampton Rhodes in rushing. So I think it's a 2-horse race in the Eastern District for MVP.
And I got to throw my Diamante Tucker Dorsey. He's been doing it not only on offense, but also defense. He's been the key to that defense this year, along with Roman Baum. But I think Tucker Dorsey has really been solid for them.
Yeah, he's played both sides of the ball, really has been impressive, both sides of the ball for Lake Taylor. And, Dariel Mack Jr., he's going to commit on Thursday. Larry will be there, so make sure you join us for that on 757Teamz.com and in the Pilot. All right, now, who is the Southeastern District MVP?
Well, we talked about him earlier, Miltier. I mean, here's a guy who's leading the area in rushing. He came from kind of nowhere. I mean, we kind of knew a little bit about him, but not like what he's doing right now. I'd say right now, I think he's the head over everybody else right now.
Yeah, I agree. He's in the conversation. I like Khalid Perry at Oscar Smith. He has been all over the field, offense, defense, special teams. Sean Mitchell has played well, but he has not put up the kind of numbers that he's used to at quarterback for Oscar Smith. So I'd go with Khalid Perry.
All right. Last one. Biggest surprise.
That's
wait till next week.
Sorry, you're going to have to wait until next week to find out the answer to that question and what that question is. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be back next week. Don't forget Friday night. Don't forget to join us, 757teamz.com, and on Twitter for highlights of all of Friday night's football games. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.